Time now for our rants and raves, and I'm going to start right there with you, Mike.
Well, I have a rave this week for the now 89-year-old former CBS Evening News anchor, Dan Rather, who I think has somehow found a way to have his voice still be relevant in his post-anchoring career. He's been very active giving speeches to younger journalists, and on Twitter lately, he's just been on fire, especially after the election. And I want to show you some of the tweets. They are very much Dan Ratherism, pithy sort of things. Can't we get to the point in this movie where Toto pulls the green curtain?
I know, it's great.
And my favorite, dude, you lost. And that one got some of these have gone viral. That one got 561,000 likes.
Yeah.
He was controversial in his career.
I know.
I think somehow he's maintained
some
relevance.
Agree. I totally agree.
You know, as a former news anchor, anytime I can see another former news anchor have some relevance, 2 thumbs up.
I agree with that. All right, Susie.
So mine is, I'd say, like a rant light. I'm not like super mad about this, but I sort of wanted to say that I thought the time decision to make Kamala and Joe Biden the people of the year this year, the person of the year this year, was sort of silly. You know, in a year where healthcare workers and, you know, the racial justice movement have been such enormous influences, and our, you know, healthcare workers are still about to go into this incredibly deadly winter, it just felt like an unnecessary kind of an advance honor. I kind of feel like, look, most of us know that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, while they ran a good campaign, also won to a large degree in opposition to Trump, right? A lot of people voted for them just because they weren't Trump. So it feels a little bit like it's celebrating their victory too early, like when they gave Obama the Peace Prize.
I agree.
You know.
Also, why person of the year? It's people. There's 2 of them. I didn't get that. The syntax on that just didn't work for me at all. All right, let's see. Who's next? Dan.
I have a rant about a story that deserves a rave. Michael Silverman of the Globe reported that only 12 of the 126 journalists, talk show hosts, TV personalities covering sports full-time in Boston are black, which is just an absurd number. It's 10%, which is way too low and not representative. Now, he did point out that the Globe has 3 black reporters covering sports, but the Globe did not escape his gaze. The 3 top editors in the sports department at the Globe are all white men. And, you know, it's really time for this ridiculousness to stop, and he did a great job of shining a spotlight on.
All of these sports departments have been decimated, the Globe less so, but as you know, Dan, I mean, the Herald barely has one anymore, much less, you know, minorities.
This is
the Globe just hired somebody new, though, recently.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah. Greg Lee, member of the NABJ, anyway.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Callie, you're up.
I have a rave, and I'm very excited about this. Rashida Jones has just been named the president of MSNBC. She's an African-American woman. She is currently the senior vice president for news. She's worked her way up the chain. She's excellent. And it's actually a broader story about diversity because this comes as one of the appointments from Cesar Conde, who is the new NBC Universal News Group president. And he said when he came in, he was determined to make the staff be at least 50% persons of color and women. And so she is most deserved. She's quite talented. He also has just appointed Jonathan Capehart and Tiffany Cross as anchors on the weekend, replacing the hours where Joy Reid was. So big rant. Big
so now, does she report to Phil Griffin? What's her?
No, she replaces Phil Griffin.
Oh, Phil is out.
Yes, she is now Phil Griffin.
Because he's been there forever.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, good for her. And not to be confused with the actress, which a lot of people were saying, hey, is that the same person?
Yes, all the people in my little network said that. No, it's not Rashida Jones, Quincy Jones's daughter and the great actress. No, this is Rashida Jones, news person.
Good. Let's keep that straight.
Yeah.
All right, well, finally tonight, I have a rave for the Boston Globe. A couple of years ago, as everybody might remember, they got a tip that they followed up about this fencing coach and a very wealthy businessman out of Maryland. Jack Zhao was the businessman. Peter Brand was the fencing coach. And it turns out it was this convoluted scheme where the The businessman bought the fencing coach's house, which was worth about $350,000. He spent almost $1 million on it. It was a play-to-pay scheme, and it was part of the Varsity Blues thing too, because he eventually ended up getting his son into Harvard, and he was on the fencing team, and now the whole thing has crumbled. Both of those people were indicted this week on charges, and it all started with a tip that the Globe mentioned way back when, how they got it. It was just like a dead phone call, like a cold phone call, excuse me, and they followed up on it, and it's led to this. So it's a really great story.